Alright guys, so today we'll be making a simple calculator UI with CSS and HTML. If you look at this design, this is made with just HTML and CSS. Now I have a div right here, so I use a div to design this. I also use another div here, and why all these ones are designed with span. So let's jump right into code and see how this can be made. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come here. I'm going to create a file. I'm going to create a desktop. I'm going to create a folder. I'm going to call this calculator. Alright, inside this calculator, I'm going to create a file. I'm going to create a file called, I'm going to call this index.html. So now what you need to do is that make sure you are checking this show file extension, because if I remove this, so that this thing is not showing, so I have to check it now, that I can see the file extension. Now the good news about this thing is that it makes you know what you are working with and the kind of file extension you are working with. So I would say style.css. So this is what I have here. Now what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to drag this to one corner just like this. Okay, I'm using Sublime Text. You can use anything you like, it doesn't really matter. So I'll drag this and I'll just put it right here. Sublime is going to open it from here, so I'll just do it like this. Now let me open HTML first. So I'll save this. It's going to show right here. So now the next thing for me to do, I'll just launch this editor. So this is what I'll be making. So I want to reduce this. So I'll have something like this. So now the next thing for me to do is I'm going to create a boilerplate. I'm going to generate a boilerplate HTML. Okay, I'm going to call this calculator. Now under this one, I'm going to create a meta tag. Okay, then I'm going to create another meta tag. I'm going to call this name auto. I'm going to call this content Alex. Should be capital. This is my name right here, so but you can use any name of your choice. Can add your own name. Doesn't really matter. So the next thing for me to do is that I'll link my style sheets. But this is going to be an style sheet. I'll just put style. I put this style.css. Now I don't have a folder yet, so it doesn't. So this I will just leave it. Now to create this folder, to create this text, what I'm going to do is that I'll first of all create a div of wrapper. I'm going to use an ID of wrapper. Okay, and inside this div I will have another div again. I have another div of the class of this body. So what I'm going to do is I'll say calculator body. Calculator body. Inside calculator body, I'll add another one again. I'll add another div of say display. I'll put a class of calculator display. I'll put calculator display. So I'll put this underneath. Now inside this calculator display, alright, which are going to have this, which is this one. Why this one is for this one. Inside this one, I'm going to create another one, and I'm going to create another div here. I'm not going to put anything inside this div, so let me align it properly. So it is better like this, so it will be easy to read. I'm going to create another div now. This div will be for this one, because now we want to create a div that will wrap all this span together. So I'll say calculator btn start from body. I'll say group. Alright, and this will be the group of what will be inside this space. So then I'll create a span here to host all this one. I'll just say span dot btn dot no btn call btn. So I'll just do it like this. Now let me expand this so that we'll see how this thing works. So this is it. I'll just bring this one down. Now what I'm going to do next is to to create 20 of this span. 20 of this span. So before I create 20 of this span, let me name them first. This one I'm going to name something like this. So this one I'm going to do something like this, word bracket. So I'm going to go ahead and speed up this clip so that we don't waste our time here. This one out. So I'll just move this one like this. Now what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to break this one after the 4 next steps, because if I open this in my browser, now you see how everything does spread out on a single line. Now we don't want that. Once after the first 4, okay, we want it to come down. We want this 7 to be down here. I want this 4 to be down here. So how do we achieve it? So what we are going to do is we are going to have a break tag after this one. Okay, we are going to add a break tag after here. Okay, and after this X, I'm going to add another break tag here. And what this break tag is going to do is going to bring them down. Okay, after this hyphen, I'm going to add another break tag. Okay, so I'm going to bring this down. After the plus, we're going to put another break tag. And that's it, no more break tag. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come here, just refresh it. You see how everything is properly set. Now everything has been properly set. So I will come right to my CSS and just open it right here. So we have everything set now. So the next thing to do is to check our CSS. So I'll create something like this. I'll say background color. Let me see, red. I'm going to save it. Alright, our CSS has padding in leaf, so let me erase this. I'm going to say padding 0 pixels plus 0. Margin, I'll say 0. Box sizing, say border box. And if I save this, I come in. So you see how the space has been removed. Now the next thing to do, I'm going to use CSS variable to do this. So I'm going to create a root. I'm going to create a CSS variable for roots. I'll say main BG color. Main BG color should be set to FFA 500, right? The second one should be calculator body. I'm going to call this core body. Calculator body should be calculator body color. I think color, yeah, should be 2F4 F4F. Okay, the second one should be calculator display color. Okay, so I'm going to use I'm going to say 20B 2AA. So the second one should be calculator BTN color. So I'll say no. Calculator BTN color should be RGBA. Now because this one we need a transparency, so that's why there is an RGBA of 255. Now 255 is white, so I'll put 0.5. So I'm going to come down here. So the second one we are having is we're having for box shadow. That's in box shadow. I'll say color. I'm going to say 10 pixels. Okay, 10 pixels, and then 10 pixels for the blur. Then I'm going to put black 000. Okay, that's it. So this should be 6 in number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the remaining one to do, last one should be a text. Should be for the text. So now the text should be white. I'll say text color. So I'll say it should be white. Alright, so if I'm going to cancel, I don't want to purchase this. So I should have something like this by now. Now the next thing for me to do is to start coding this thing properly, because if we come back here, you see how this calculator is designed, and all what we need is just this. So I'll say body, say background color. Now I'm going to say var for the CSS variable. Now this CSS variable is not very difficult to do, so just follow the step, you get everything. So I'll copy this thing, just this one, I'll put it here and just paste it. I save it, I'll come here like this. You see what I have now, the color has been applied just like we have here. Now the next thing for me to do is to come here. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to target this one, this calculator body, okay, because now we need to style it. Our calculator body, I'm going to just put it to stop, just a calculator body, background color. Background color should be var. Okay, so we are going to be adding this calculator body color. So I'll copy this one from here, I'll just paste it here. If I save it like this, I'll have something like this. Now the next thing for me to do is to add an item width for our calculator body. The alternative will be, the width will be let me reduce this thing, I'm not getting enough space. Yeah. The width should be 400 pixels. Height should be 500 pixels. Okay, let me save it and see how this goes. Okay, that's exactly what I need. So now I will need to add a box shadow of say variable. Now I'll copy this box shadow effect, copy, and I'll paste it here. I'll close this. If I save it, now you see the box shadow right here. Now the next thing for me to do is to center this box at the middle. Okay, I need to center it at the middle. Now for me to do that, I will do something like I'll come here. Okay, I'll grab this one. Okay, I'll copy it. Okay, I'll start from here. I'll just open it. I'll say, now here I'm going to put an ID. Okay, and inside this space I'll put something like I'll center this. I'll center it at the middle. And if I enlarge this thing, you see that the thing is at the side here. But if we come here, you see that this one is at the middle. Now what we have to do, we have to use Flex-box and just measure the size of this of the container and then center it in the middle. So let's say that can be done. So I will say, yeah, I'll say something like width of 100 viewports. Okay, I'll say height 100 viewports height. Okay, I'll say display flex. I'll say justify content. I'll say center. I'll say align items. I'll say center. So if I save this thing and just do it like this, you see it does come to the center. Now if I bring it like this, you see that this thing is at the center. Alright, that is how to align something at the center. So the next thing, I will reduce this. Now there's something that I need to do again. If I come down here, I'll come here, I'll say something like we need a padding of padding of 20 pixels. Yeah, if I do it like this and come here, see, this will bring this at the middle. Now I also need something like a border radius of 10 pixels. 10 pixels is fine. No, close this. And if I save this now, see this thing has just been curved at the bottom, the top here. Now the next thing we need, next I'm going to do, I'm going to get this called display. So we're going to start something like this. I'm going to come here. Okay, so I will just come here, copy this one, So I'll just paste it right here. So I'm going to put the dot here for the class. So I'm going to say width of 360 pixels, height of 80 pixels. Okay, so background color will be we'll put a var. Okay, so something like this. Now the background color that I'll be making use of is the same one that we have here. So I'm going to copy this display color right here. Copy it. Come down. Paste it here. Save it. And then save it right here. So you see something like this. Now the next thing we're going to be doing, we're going to be adding border radius. Border radius of 5 pixels. 5 pixels. So if I save it, you see something like this. Now this is how it will look like. Now so we are done with that. So the next thing for us to do is that if I come back here, so that I have a gap between these two places. Okay, now to add that gap, I'm just going to come here and get this btn group. So that we'll get that gap, just add it like this. Okay, I think I should put the dots here. I'll say margin top, just margin top, just 1 rem. Okay, so we have done that. If I save this, okay, now we've added the margin top. I think I did not copy this in fully, so I think, yeah, I'll do it like this. Let me see. Okay, you see, that's it right there. The next thing for us to do is to come here, and we want to style this. It's for us to style these buttons. So I'll come here. I'll just say I'll copy this one. I'm going to copy this and I'm just going to paste it here. Okay, so we are going to get this one, this call button. So I'll come here and I'll put it like this. I'll wipe this one out. We don't need it. So I'll say width of we need a width of 83 pixels. We need the height of 70 pixels. Then we need to display a line block. Okay, so that this thing will work. And the background color of the background color, I'm going to say var. So now let's get the background color that we're using. So now we need the background color of white. We need this one. So I'll copy this. I'll just paste it here. If I save it and rotate it, you see how it looks like now. Okay. Now the next thing for me to do is I'll just put a color. I'll put CSS variable. I'll say I'll put the dash no text color. If I save this, I'll come here. The color has changed. So I'll put a font size. I'll put a font size of 2 rem, which is if I save it, I should put something like this. I'll put something like, I'll say font family. Say area. I think it's area. Yeah. Let me see if it will work. Good. Now I'll say align text align at the center. I save this, should have something like this. Okay. So I'm going to say padding 18 pixels with the margin of 2 pixels. Alright, so if I save this, you see something exactly like this. Now the next thing for me to do, I'll put a border radius. I'll say 5 pixels. I save it. You see everything has just been cropped here. Now the next thing for me to do is I'm going to put a cursor. I'll say pointer. I save it. you see something like this, okay, when I'm touching it. And the most important part is to what? Copy this thing. I'll also paste it like this. I'll copy all these things like this. I'll wipe it out. I don't need it. I'll say I'll put an overstate here. Okay, I'll put a background color. Now, inside the background color, I'll put a CSS variable. Okay, inside CSS variable, we are going to come up here and get this one, this display color, because we want it to have like to look different. This display color. Oh, let's come down. Now, the good thing about CSS variable is that we always know what we use. If I save it, something like this, so you see how the color looks like. Alright, if I touch any of the color, you see how the color looks like. So guys, this is basically how this thing should be. I think the tutorial is not very, doesn't really take time, very simple. So feel free to let me know what you think. Now for this CSS variable, I'm currently making a tutorial on it. So when I'm done, I'll share it with you so that I know how to work with that one as well. So this is how to make this simple calculator UI. Hope you find it very useful. So feel free to like, share, and subscribe. If you don't like it, let me know. If you like, let me know. So I'll see you in my next video.